Hey, welcome. This is J Knows Credit back with another video. In this video, of course, if you read the title, we're going to be walking you through how to look at your credit report, what to look for, just some different things on their credit report. That way you can know how to read it, what you need to be looking for. I'm also going to add some things that are not on this person's credit report, but some things you want to look at or look out for, or some things just to pay attention to. Alright, so just to jump right into it, I skipped the part where you can see this person's particular address, right? And you know the addresses are above. Now, the system I'm using right now, it is Identity IQ. Now, with Identity IQ, you can access your whole entire credit report all on one page. I do have a link. It's here in the description. It's not going to cost you anything different if you want to click the link here. I do have different trials that you cannot get from them particularly that are through my link. So just to let you know, they do compensate me for this if you were to you know, get the service, if you want to keep it and things like that. But just want to let you know about it just right before you click on it and have any questions, okay? But I think it is one of the best ones, and that's not because they pay me, that's because they put everything on one page. Now, if you're familiar with other credit reports, you know everything is not on one page, okay? So let me go ahead and show you so you can see if you really want to get this service, or you know, just so you can see how your credit report flows. All right, so first up, okay, credit score. Everybody focuses on credit score. Credit score is great. We want to have a great credit score, and you can get your credit score to be at the maximum level. Whatever goal that you have, you can get to that goal, okay? There's a couple of things you need to do in order to get there, and I'll show you some of that here as we go through it, okay? So this person has a 503, 501, and a 507, okay? Now, if you're someone who doesn't really understand the numbers and stuff like that, and what the numbers mean and all that, it's just a scoring method, okay? It's just a scoring method on how they rank you based on different credit monitoring companies, or based on different credit matrices, okay? So you're gonna have different scores. What you see here as these 503s, 501s, 507s, that does not mean you're gonna see that through every score, even FICO scores, okay? So this lender rank right here is unfavorable, okay? You're gonna see favorable ones, and now every credit report won't show you that, but Identity IQ does show you if you're favorable or unfavorable, and that makes a big difference, especially if you're trying to apply for a loan somewhere. You want to know at least, like, what are your chances? Like, you know, do you have a favorable chance or an unfavorable chance of you getting a car, a loan, or a house? All right. So I would want those things to be more favorable before I apply for something. All right. Score scale, of course, 300 to 850. Of course, you want to be on that higher range. Okay, I know everybody wants the 700 or even the 800, you know, credit scores, and you know those are great. Those are the great, you know, the good scores. I just want you to focus more on the report. If you get the report right, the score will come with a favorable report. Okay. All right, person it breaks you down here with the different credit companies. I want to stop calling them bureaus. Sometimes I call them that just because it's just, you know, you know, part of just language sometimes, and people call it and I repeat it, but they're not credit bureaus, they're credit companies. You know, bureaus are owned by federal governments. They are not federal governments, okay? So, TransUnion, they say this person is bankrupt, bankruptcy on their file, very few loans, no open accounts on the credit files, too many delinquent derogatory accounts, okay, and so on. And you see Equifax doesn't have any remarks there. Now we can see, okay, let me go back here as far. I want to make sure I break down everything with the actual remarks, okay? If you see any negative remarks here as far as risk factors, that's where you want to try to improve. That's where you want to put your focus on, okay? So look, there's a bankruptcy on a credit file, okay? That means we want to get that off, because we know that lenders are looking at this. These are my risk factors, okay? You have either very few loans or too many loans with delinquencies. All right, so we gotta look. Do we have loan delinquencies? And if we do, okay, we also need to get more loans because that's going to help our profile look good. They're basically telling you what to do to get you more favorable. Okay, no open accounts in the credit file. So maybe you've got an account right now that doesn't have anything open. That is a risk factor. People tell us all the time at J Knows Credit, well, I don't have a lot on there. I don't have any open accounts. I should be able to get some stuff. And that's also a risk factor. Having no credit is a lot worse than having bad credit. Okay, so we're here with Identity IQ. They do use the Vantage Score 3.0 models, and this is big because as things get crazy with these banks, you're going to see that the Vantage 3.0 model is going to be the model for buying homes. Just watch what I'm telling you. Okay. Anyway, moving on to your breakdown of your summary. It tells you how many accounts you have total. All right, that means the total number of accounts you've ever had. All right, open accounts, closed accounts. It's going to break that down so you know the difference. So you see the open accounts here, you got 8 plus 6. 8 plus 6 equals what? 14. That's your total number of accounts you've ever had in your total like history, whatever this number is here. Open accounts. This is how they're going to judge your average years and all that. And we're going to talk about that more later. Closed accounts, delinquent accounts. Person has 3 here, 0 here, 3 here. Okay, so we read up above that there was no open accounts, and that's why there's no open accounts here listed. Okay, so we already knew that from above. We're just showing you a visual of what it looked like up above there. Okay, now we see the number of collections, the number of derogatories, the number of delinquencies, and all that from the other things they already pointed out. Then we've got what the balances are. This is the balances that are owed. Okay, balances that are owed. This does not mean that this is your total amount of delinquent balances. It just means that this is how much you owe total. So you break this down, you get to this number. You might have a house, a car, blah blah blah. That's how much you owe total. So don't panic. Okay. Payments. This gives you a breakdown of like what your payments are total. And for some people, it's a good way to measure how to keep up with your expenses, okay? Because you know what your payments are. Public records, okay, inquiries, very, very few here. 1 public record, okay? This is something we definitely got to get off of this report, okay? Going into your account history. When you're looking at your account, even if you're just wanting to know like more information about it from the credit bureaus, things like that, you need this account number and you need this the way it's spelled. I know this is Credit One Bank. I'm sure we all can see that this says, you know, Credit One Bank, but right here we know there's an A missing. Okay, yes, we understand that. You still need to write it just like that, because if you don't, you're not gonna know what you're talking about a lot of times. Okay, not saying that they can't, you know, put 2 and 2 together, but you want to speak the language so you don't have any problems. All right, this is a revolving account. When you see the account type, we know revolving means credit card. Revolving means card. Revolving means that you can keep doing it. Okay, there's also one other revolving account that you can have as far as you know, a loan. You can have one loan that will give you, and I can't just right on the tip of my tongue right now. Driving me crazy. But you can get one type of loan that will give you a revolving account. But 99% of the time, you're looking at your report, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're going to have a revolving account as a credit card. Okay? We can see here this person has authorized user on there, monthly payments, stuff like that. You can see what their bureau code is. That was authorized user. The open account status, what their monthly payment is. Then you've got what date it was open. Okay, this is a very important thing here. I want to point out on what date it was open. You also want to make note of what date your account was open, just in case. Know what date it was open. Know the account number. It's very important information if you're trying to get anything removed off your credit report. You're trying to, you know, solidify like, hey, is this valid? Okay, you want to make sure you get this information. All right, the number, the date that it was open. Okay. Next thing, balance owed. Know what they're saying that you owe. Okay. Know what they say that you owe. What I want to pay attention to is like your highest credit limit. This is very important right here because let's say that your account limit is 1,000 and it's going to have you here maxed out at 1,000. This person here has a credit limit of 400, but their highest credit is 500. That's automatic risk to a person wanting to give you a credit card. Even if you paid it back down and all of that, that's still a red flag. You know, you hear that a lot these days. Red flag. That's a red flag to lenders. So even if you've done this before, what this person right here should do as well, once we get everything squared away, is they want to get this raised up. They want to get this raised up. So we want to get them an increase on their balance. Okay, we don't want to increase the credit right now. We just want to increase the balance. Let's say the balance now says 1,000, and the highest credit limit, highest credit on there was, you know, that 545. So that'll be very, you know, look a lot better than 545 being your highest credit, and your credit limit is 400. All right, and I want to take a second to go back to this bureau code here, right? So authorized user. Now you get a lot of clients who want to get authorized users and they think that nobody knows that they have authorized users. Like, no, they know. So I'm showing you right here, you know, if you're an authorized user, it's going to show the bureau code right there on your credit report, so there's no secret. Right? All right, so moving on. Past due amount. Some of y'all don't have any past due amounts. I know a lot of people don't have any past due, so don't worry about that too much. But if you do, okay, doesn't mean you need to pay it. That doesn't mean go straight out and pay it. Just don't go out and pay it. As far as these balances right here go, just because you see a balance does not mean go out and pay it. Okay, don't go out here and be paying balances if you owe money on things that are closed and that are you know, maybe they're about to close and you just want to get rid of them and stuff like that. Just don't go paying off the balance. Okay, now with this particular card here, all right, they're going to want to pay their balance down because, you know, they want to keep this account open, but maybe they don't. Maybe they just want to clear everything up, and maybe they don't have the money to pay it. They just don't have it, and so they're just going to just let it go. So there's no point in, you know, you getting your taxes back or whatever like that. You go out and you pay up all these balances you owe money on, and then you find out you still can't do anything with your credit. Okay, so I don't want you to be that person. That's why we're going through this step by step. And in the comments, if you have anything I left out, you know, I can always make a part 2 of this video. So please leave your comments about anything dealing with this report you think I should have added to it, that I can make in a part 2 for you. Okay, if you just want me to break something down a little bit in more detail. Okay, so next thing, determine out the number of monthly terms. Let's see if I can find one here so you can I can actually give you an example, and if I don't, I'll break that down for you. Okay, so the last report, okay, this is the last time that they reported for you. Okay, see, this person reported, TransUnion reported for this person on the 17th. They reported here on the 1st. Date last active to the 17th. They're having the 1st. All right, so you can always, you know, see what they're actually having as far as like when are they updating their systems. Okay, that's what I look at. When are these companies updating their system, and are they updating it accurately? Okay, pay attention to the accuracy of what they're putting. Like the date of your last payment, it says you know, 10/25. Is that accurate? You know, this one says the last payment was 12/1. You know, so you definitely want to make sure that it's accurate. And if it's not accurate, you want to let them know, hey, this is when I paid. I got proof. They need to update this on their end, because any type of remark or anything that you might think is so slight can cost you points. And that's, you don't want to lose points on no technicalities, you know. Get enough of those as it is, just being us. So the next thing you got is, you know, on this report, something I didn't go down here as far as comments. Okay, a lot of companies can leave comments on you, as well as the credit bureau themselves can leave comments. Okay, so this right here was canceled by the credit grantor, and that's an alert for people that's giving you credit. Okay, why is us as an institution, why do we want to give you more credit if the credit you did have, you already dropped that bag, you've already messed that up? So we don't want that. We don't want to give you no money because you may not pay us back. Okay, so with this one, everything here is paid up to date now. Not paid up to date now. They were making payments, and then they started to get behind here. And so going into this, this is your 2-year payment history. Now, as far as your credit scoring, as far as like a lot of late payments and things like that, they can follow you, but they're going to be the most impactful for 2 years. After 25 months, they're not going to be as impactful to your credit score. This is why this is only showing you a 2-year of the payment history. Now, if it's a closed account, it doesn't matter. It's going to show closed whenever it was closed, and it's going to be reporting, and it's going to be there. It's going to just sit there forever. All right, but when you got something that's open, let's say you had all this right here be green, and you only missed, just one payment. We still want to repair that one payment just because it's on your 2-year history. Now, once it gets beyond your 2-year history, okay, well, you say, well, I ain't really got to stress about that. But in that 2-year history, if you're trying to make any moves, hey, it could cost you points. And that's what I'm saying. Like, even if it's the smallest of having one late payment, and you might not think it's worth repairing, whether you get somebody else to repair it, here at J Knows Credit, or you repair it yourself, you don't want to leave that. Oh, that's only one. Yes, that only one can cost you big time money in the long run. Okay? So let me find another one here. Okay, another good example of the name being shortened. This right here is First Premier. Okay, First Premier, that's what that is. But when you write it in, you want to write it in as FST if there's any type of problems. You want to know the name here, not just knowing the major name. You got to know what they're addressed as with the credit bureaus. Okay, that's like knowing your nickname. Yeah, my name is, Shaniqua, but they call me Qua. My name is Antonio, but they call me Tony. You gotta know, hey, they got different street names, basically, when it comes to, dealing with reporting and stuff like that. You just gotta have fun with it, man. Knowing about your money, knowing about your credit is fun. Now, when you see CO on here, that just means collection. And you can go right here to the legend, and you can see what everything means, just in case you're not familiar. All right. So the gray box on this report will be no data provided. No data provided. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120, 150, 180. Okay. It goes from light to dark, back to white, back to black. Okay. Charge off, collection, repossession or foreclosures, RF. PP is payment plan. So they know if you get on a payment plan. All right. Voluntary surrender. You said, man, F it, I want it, and I gave it up. Now, some people don't even have voluntary surrenders on their reports, and so that's something that it does show up as a negative, but it's a different type of negative. It's different than getting a repossession when you voluntarily gave it up. Even though they're still black, it makes a difference on what happened. It's just like your report when it comes to your name, when it comes to going to court or something like that. Somebody saying you did something. You got to have everything. You got to know, like, okay, you got to get the facts straight. This is what the facts were, and I got proof. Show your proof. This is like you going to court about what's on your report. It's not about what's correct. It's about what you can prove. All right. So, I'm sorry, I got a little bit too excited about there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. In the element. Love looking at reports. Okay. All right. Now, as you can see in these comments, we've got charged off as bad debt, credit line closed, account closed at consumer's request. You know, that means you called in and said, hey man, I can't make this payment. Okay, it's a different thing when, you know, you're applying for credit. You apply for a credit card, right? And now you're calling the line. Maybe they have a line where you can call in and be like, hey, what do they call it? A reconsideration line. Couldn't even think about it. Reconsideration line. And you call that line and you're like, hey, you know, everything on our report is good, and you know, you're all that. And they're like, well, you know, you did have this debt, and you know, you didn't pay it off, but you can say, hey, you know, things got bad, I lost my job, such and such and such, and I voluntarily, like, I called in, I let them know, I requested for them to close it, I didn't wait for them to close it, I said, hey, I need to close it, my finances changed, and all that. Now that my finances have changed back, you know, I'm, you know, dealing with it, so it makes a difference, definitely makes a difference. Because you can still get credit cards even if you have, or still get loans and credit cards even if you have one charge off, you know, or one collection, you know, and sometimes you can have to pay it off just to get certain moves done. But the only time I pay a credit card off is if it's like dire to where you're about to close on a house. I'm sorry, paying off a collection, paying off a charge off. You're about to close on a house, or if you just really have like 100% facts from an institution where they're going to give you this loan or this money based on you paying this one thing off. Because if not, you end up paying something off, you're going to be mad, like I said, that you still can't make any credit moves like you want to. Okay? Alright, so right here, you might see an account on your report possibly where you don't have anything showing up. Right here that are reporting. That just means that this particular card may only be reporting for one bureau. But now that also may not be true, because you might scroll down and you might see where they posted again and they got a different nickname at TransUnion and Experian for this company. Okay, they got a different street name for this company. All right, but as of right now, us seeing this for the first time, then right now it's just reporting for Equifax. Going down, I want to see if we see that name or anything similar to that name going forward. And while we're looking for that, new account type, you got installments. Okay, like I said, you got revolving, installment account. Most of them is only the main two you're going to see on your report. Now the bureau code right here is joint account. So that means this could be like a co-signer on the card on that auto loan. Okay. Now it's derogatory. It's got a balance. That was the highest limit. This is the balance. And it was a repossession. You see the account, the date it was last active. You see that's 2018 here. That's February 14th, 2018. This right here is July 1st, 2018, May 1st, 2017. So all these are different, and this is why you got to know, like, hey, like, why is all this stuff different? They should not all be different. You're making the same payment to one company, like, why is it different across the board? These different things you can leverage, you know what I'm saying, on your credit. I'm giving you some gems here as we're going through this, all right? So, another one, Midland Fund. We see this right here, only on one bureau. You got ARS. This right here, when I see emergency or anything like that, this is automatically, I know the creditor is definitely for a hospital bill or something like that. DDS, the dentist, hospital bill, basically. See the original portfolio there. Well, they come. Well, portfolio is the one that we see the most here at J Knows Credit. JJ Marshall, this is Sylvania. All right, and it just logged me out. All right, and then we're just gonna log back in so you don't see this person's personal information, and we'll get back to it. All right, getting right back into it, and just pause for that particular reason. Now the system automatically will log you out. And that's the great thing. So even if you leave your computer, something happens, you walk away, you know, something like that, it's going to automatically bump you out and the person has to log in again. Even if it's you, even if you're active on here and you're active on here, you can be active here for a long time. You see what we're doing, we're just scrolling through here, but it's still logged us completely out. And that's a great thing about this particular credit monitoring service as well. All right. Going down, just seeing more creditors right here. See, it doesn't even have a creditor name. It just has an account number. Creditor name is parentheses or nothing. Original creditor, nothing. And these right here are probably tied to that bankruptcy. That's why they have that like that, but it still makes it easier, you know, to remove when it doesn't even have a trace on it. Okay. Like I said, what you can prove, right? So going into your inquiries, this person only has 3 inquiries total between all their bureaus. The great thing about this is if you have multiple inquiries, so you got, you know, 10, 10, 10, it's going to show all of them right here, all on the same page. Remember, we have not left this page. The size is getting, you know, logged out, of course, but, you know, technicality, right? Technicalities. And then you're going to have public information here if you have any, but that's where it's going to go. Of course, you know, you see the bankruptcy here as far as that discharge, things like that, okay? Creditor contacts, very important information here on your credit report. You can actually see everyone, all the creditor names, the addresses, and phone numbers, okay? So like if you see somebody without a phone number, look them up, Google them, find out who they are, okay? Find out what their number is. There is a number somewhere. There's always some way to get in contact with them, okay? So just a great way to do it. If you want to, you can print it out so you can see it better. If you want to make some changes, circle some stuff, do some highlights, do that, download it to your computer. As far as you just want to keep track of every month, you can kind of keep track of that progression. You can also go back and see past reports, but if you just want to keep them, like, I'm not sure how many months it actually keeps it though. So hey, definitely download away. That way you can have, and I almost clicked on back to the top, but I don't want you to see this person's personal information. All right, so very long video, but I wanted you to see this breakdown, and I want to go back so that we can get some different calculations going for you. Now, one thing I did want to point out is, you know, the magic number is 9. Okay, not 10, not 100, not 1. Magic number is 9. Okay, magic number is 9. You want to have 9 average years of history. You want to have 9 average. You know, 9 is just a magic number when it comes to, I'm talking about average credit history too. So 9 years. If you got 9 years from all your accounts, it'll be great. If you're a young person, you probably don't have 9 years, so you got to build it. And the way you can build it is you can wait through time, or you can get authorized users in order to help beef up those years of average. You might only have 2 years, for an example. You're 20 years old, you've got your first card at 18, you've got 2 years of history. Then you get, you know, maybe 3 or 4 authorized users, and boost your average history from just being, you know, maybe a couple months to that 2 years max to now being 8 years, 13 years, 15 years, something like that. All right, now you might think, okay, well, I'm young, I don't have that much history, but a lot of times when you're getting a lot of loans and stuff like that, all they see is the report. That's all they see is the report. So you can get credit cards like that very easily, you know, as a younger person. Now when it comes to cash money, then you're not gonna be able to do that with that method, but that is just a bonus here with this video. Thank you all for watching this long video, and hopefully you understand more about, you know, your credit report and how to look at it and how to read it. Okay, now another thing I just want to point out here too is, even though you see this as your account number and your account thing, you want to get all of this, plus you want to get the asterisk that you don't know that's not being listed. Okay, now they should be able to find you from you giving your identity, you know what I'm saying, but you want to put, hey, there's 4 other numbers here, You can put asterisks, you know what I'm saying, when you're disputing anything, if there's something that you need to get off, or something that you don't understand when you're calling in or something like that, or you're talking to anyone about this. If there's any type of thing that you want to get removed, you want to know all the numbers. Okay, all four. So even if you don't know these because they don't list them here, put those asterisks so they know that they're there. Okay. So thank you guys for watching once again, and see you guys on the next video.